today's problem, and I'll tell you why just right off the bat here. It's because I'm going to solve this problem in two ways, and one of the ways we're going to solve it is we're going to solve it in a way where we're not going to use any math. How cool is that, right? To solve a hard problem on the SAT math and not use any math. So let's read this first, and then we'll get into how we're going to solve it. All right, so it says a salesperson's commission is K% of the selling price of a car. Which of the following represents the commission in dollars on two cars that sold for $14,000 each? All right, and then there are answer choices on the right. So we're going to start by asking our 5 questions: who, what, when, where, and how. So starting with the what question, automatically we can see this is going to be an algebra problem. And that's just based on the fact that we have a variable there, and it's a word problem and it's an algebra problem. So the when question, this is the last problem on the section. So if you get to this problem, you're in pretty good shape. It means you're really doing well on your time. And then the where question, it has to do with the difficulty of the question, and since this is the last question in the section, it's going to be a hard one. And then the how question, how are we going to do this? All right, so here's where I talked about one way of doing it was a non-math way. There's another way of doing it, and that's just setting up the word problem using algebra and using algebraic language and symbols. That's the mathy way to do it. So we're going to do it both ways. We'll do it that way, and then we'll do it the non-mathy way. Another way you can do this one is maybe by just eliminating answer choices, which is pretty much how we're going to do it. That's the first method I'm going to show you, and you're going to love this. This is going to make your day, possibly your week. So let's get into it. So the first way we're going to solve this problem is by using zero math. And the reason we can use zero math is because of one single word that we're given in this problem, and that word is percent. Now, why is this word so important? Well, it's really important because it tells us that K, the unknown in the problem, which represents the commission of the salesperson, K is a percent, meaning K, if the salesperson gets 20% of the selling price of a car, that's a really high commission, by the way. I'd want to be a used car salesman if I could get 20%. More along the lines of 4% would probably be maybe what they often get. I don't know. But yeah, if K was, say, 20%, then K is 20, because K is 20%. Now, the reason I emphasize that is because the hardest thing about this problem, the thing that gets everybody, is they want to write K equals 0.2. We're always, in math, we're always trying to convert percents to decimals. Why? Because it makes the arithmetic easier. But in this case, we don't want to do it because it can lead us to do something wrong. K represents a percent, so if the commission is 20%, K is 20. Now, why do I stress that? Well, let's take a look at our 5 answer choices here. Notice, if K represents a percent, does it make sense that the person would get a commission that is, say, maybe over and above how much the cars are even worth? Notice that if the salesperson sells 2 cars for $14,000 each, the salesperson is actually selling $28,000 worth of cars, right? So notice if K represents the commission of the salesperson, then this choice right here, answer choice C, would mean that as long as the salesperson got more than a 1% commission, they'd get more than the cars were even worth. So that just makes absolutely no sense, and we can eliminate that guy. Now, even B, check this out. Again, that's going to represent a way too large commission because 7,000 times any normal percent that we might expect a salesperson to get would be way too high of a number. So B's gone. All right, now let's take a look at D here. All right, in this case, we're taking the value of one car and dividing it by 100 plus 2 times the commission. Now, we know based on the amount of math that we've done that we're never going to divide by a commission, right? It just doesn't make any sense. We've never done that in math. Why would we do it here? It's counterintuitive. D's gone. We're never going to want to divide by the commission. Even if the commission represents a decimal instead of a percent, we're never going to divide by it. All right, and then E. Well, again, just like we would never divide by something that represents the commission, we don't want to add it either. We're always going to multiply a commission by something to figure out how much someone makes, right? So E just doesn't make any sense either, which leaves us with A, and that is our answer. Ta-da! How cool was that? Zero math, just process of elimination and a little bit of English actually. Oh my word. Did we as math people just use English to solve this problem? Well, kind of. Not really. We just isolated a word there and said that we were using some English to solve it. All right. So I won't get too boastful about that. Okay, so now the math way to solve this. Because I know you're probably wondering, all right, well, that just seems too hokey to solve it without using any math. Tell me how to solve it doing the math. All right, so we'll go through it. So if we were to solve this algebraically, meaning if we were to set this up as an equation, how would we do it? All right, so we know that when we're finding commission, we're going to have to multiply the commission by whatever we make to find how much, not by whatever we make. We're going to have to multiply the commission by whatever we sell to find out how much we make, right? So we're going to have to multiply something eventually. Eventually we'll fill in this something, but we're going to have to multiply that something by how much we sell, which we know is 28,000, and that's going to give us how much we make, right? Okay, so that something is the important part. We have to multiply how much we're selling by some sort of component of K, because K represents the commission. Now remember that K is a percent of the selling price. So let's maybe talk about how we would do this problem if we had numbers in there instead of unknowns like K. So let's just say for argument's sake, let's say K is equal to 5, meaning the salesperson gets a 5% commission. Okay, so if K is equal to 5, then how would we calculate the commission? Well, we take 28,000, which is how much the car's sold for, times the commission, and then here's the part that's important. What do we have to do now to find the commission? Because we can't just multiply 28,000 by 5. That'll give us a huge number. That's kind of what we were talking about in these answer choices up here, B and C. Well, what we have to do is we have to convert the percent to a decimal, right? Or divide by 100. Convert it to a fraction, because remember K represents a percent. If K is equal to 5, then the commission is 5%, which is the same as 5 over 100, or 0.05, however you want to write it. Okay, so if we do that math, we're going to get a number, right? And when we do, we're going to get a value for K. I wish I could do it in my head. I'm not even going to try. But it doesn't really matter. We're going to get some value for the commission. So now let's convert this back to K. Remember that 5 represented K. So if we plug K back into the equation we set up, or the expression we set up, we get that this gives us, remember this gave us the commission at 5%, or at K equals 5. So this gives us the commission at K. And I know I misspelled commission. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. There's another M in there. All right, so now you guys can't complain on YouTube and send me nasty emails saying, oh my word, you left out an M, because I put it in there. Okay, so what we end up getting is this equation here, which simplifies to which answer choice? This one, right? If we just divide 28,000 by 100, we get 280K represents the commission of this salesperson, which is answer choice A. Ta-da! Check it out. We just solved this problem in 2 different ways. Don't do that on the test. You only need to solve it one way.